So guys, this is Coach Coulthard from 92 Meshgroup. Thought I would do a quick video today kind of in response to what we saw this weekend in the world of college football. What a great weekend for all of us as college football is back. I don't know, like many of you guys, I'm much more of a college football fan than I am a pro football fan. And what a great weekend to be an air raid coach. You had Coach Leach getting the job done out west, and what a good game last night from Oklahoma and Jalen Hurts. And I thought what I would do is talk a little bit about the air raid and why it was so important for Jalen Hurts to go to Oklahoma. This past spring, I had a chance to speak at the Highland High Country Air Raid Clinic up in Statesville, North Carolina, with my buddy George Sappos and those guys at West Iredell put that clinic on. It was a great clinic, and had a chance to sit down and have dinner with Coach Mumme a couple of nights and just sit there and talk with him a little bit, and we got to talking because it was the same weekend as the draft, and you know, Coach Mumme is getting ready to work with the XFL and down at the Dallas Renegades, and so, you know, he kind of had an idea of what all these college guys were because they've been doing some scouting and things like that, and so the conversation got brought up, you know, hey, what do you think about Jalen Hurts going to Oklahoma? And he immediately said, listen, I went down and watched those guys practice a little while this spring, and he said, I'm going to tell you right now, Jalen Hurts has all the throws, and he is going to be a stud. He said, you know, you got to think about it like this. When he was at Alabama, he had 3 or 4 different coordinators, and I think, you know, they talked about this a little bit last night on the broadcast, but he had 3 or 4 different coordinators who asked him to do several different things, and all of these different concepts, you know, Alabama had. He said, imagine what's going to happen when you take a kid with his talent and put him in an air raid offense where he only has to master 13, 14, 15 plays. He said he will be phenomenal. Well, last night he threw for over 300 and ran for over 150 and scored 6 touchdowns. So, you know, anybody that wants to ask the question, what do you do? You know, when you have phenomenal athletes, you know, you make it simple and let them be athletes. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. I think sometimes as coaches, we try to be too smart. I sent a text message out yesterday to Coach Mumme and his son and Joe Salas and a couple of guys. I had an idea for a video, and I'm probably still going to do the video, but it was really funny because the idea was, you know, when you get down by a couple of touchdowns in the air raid, what do you do? You know, how do you feel about it? And, you know, because Coach Salas, if you don't follow him, check him out on his channel at Coach Joe Salas. He's doing a phenomenal job turning this program around that he's at down at Hopton. They used to be a perennial power, and then the economy turned and the town kind of dried up a little bit, and you know, they were winning maybe 1 game a year for a while, and Joe won 5 or 6 last year in the first year he was there, and he's already 2-0, and in both of those times he's come down from 2 to 3 touchdowns to win it in the fourth quarter. And so, you know, my question was, you know, what do you do when you get down? What is your mind frame? And the first person that texted me back was Coach Mumme, and you know, you can never tell what you're going to get from Coach Mumme when you talk to him because he's just so matter of fact and down to earth. He says to me, "Play the next play." Really? Play the next play. And so I thought about it. I was like, you know, he must be busy. You know, he just doesn't want to really chit chat right now, which. Coach Mumme's a chit chatter. You know, if you get him talking, he'll talk to you for a couple of minutes, and then he'll say, "Hey, let me get back to you a little bit later," or whatever, which is fine. But I started thinking about it, and I said, you know, play the next play. That is brilliant. So, you know, the great thing about our offense is this: you can always score. And so his focus was, okay, hey, yeah, we're down by 2 touchdowns. We're down by 3 touchdowns. Play the next play. Go out there and attack. Do what we do. Get the ball to people in space who can score and play the next play. And so I thought to myself, wow, that is awesome. It kind of shot my video down because I was like, yo, I need, you know, 4 or 5 points and I'll come up with them, you know, do something profound here pretty soon. But I was like, it was kind of deflating and exhilarating at the same time because I was like, yo, dang, I was going to have a really nice video, I thought. You know, it'd be really good. And he said, play the next play. So, yeah. So what does he think about Jalen Hurts? He thinks Jalen Hurts is going to be a rock star, which he is. I mean, he was a rock star without the air raid. Don't get it twisted. But you take a kid like him who's got all the talent in the world and the drive and the character, and you put him in an offense that allows him to just make plays. Don't think a whole lot. Do what you got to do. Find grass. I got a tweet from a guy who coaches down in Texas this morning. I said, listen, man, I got a Division I kid that plays quarterback for me. But he's an athlete, but he's always getting the ball out late and waiting until guys are covered to throw. What do you do? Throw the grass, bro. Teach them to throw the grass. Teach these guys the progressions. If you haven't seen the quarterback progression video I have, or if you haven't looked at some of the total air raid system stuff, check it out. Today's the last day of the sale. So, get your lifetime membership. We're adding stuff every week. This Wednesday, we'll add some more stuff. We've added stuff the last 2 Wednesdays to the members area. But get those guys in progression. Is the grass open or closed? If the grass is closed, move to the next. If that grass is closed, move to the next. And if that grass is closed, take off. I very rarely get to 4th and 5th reads. I'm like 1, 2, 3 run. But, teach your guys, 1, 2, 3 throw. Is the grass open? Is the grass closed? And then you'll have a kid, every now and then it'll show up like the Jalen Hurts or a kid like I had, Blake Green. They're just that good. And then when you put them in a situation and you give them the right weapons to be effective, that's what happens. And so you want to know why the air raid? Look at Jalen Hurts. And look what he did last night. And he's going to do that all year long. And to have 500, plus yards total offense and 6 touchdowns after being in the offense for less than a spring, really, you'll see why the air raid is what it is and why everybody's doing those concepts. Hey, listen, if this is something that you kind of wanted to chit-chat a little bit about, I hope everybody's enjoying their Labor Day. Like my head coach used to always say in high school, it's Labor Day, so we're going to labor. But, hey, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We're growing and really excited about it. Still taking applications, and we will for a little while for Air Raid Nation. And hopefully here the next day or two, we'll get back to a couple other videos. But I just thought it was pretty cool to talk about it and to see some of the things that the guys around the country were doing. I saw some things on video yesterday that I really want to look at it some more. And so, hey, if there's some things that you saw that you maybe liked, hey, hit me up on Twitter at Coach Coltharp and let's talk about it so we can all learn how to spin it to win.